Pacifist. Nick? Ocean puns. Pacifist.
Gotcha.
Sea-fist. It's like a water punch.
3, 2, 1, bro.
What's up, everybody? My name is Michael E. Murphy, and this is Board Game Highlight, where we take a game down from the shelf, dust it off, and talk about why we love it so dang much. And this time we have a game that's actually been requested by one of you. That's right, in the comments below, you can let us know what you want us to highlight next. So big shouts out to Shopper Stop for throwing down and saying, hey, I want you to talk about the depths. I want you to get deep with us today and talk about Abyss. We're going to talk about Abyss. We're going to talk about what goes on deep down in the ocean. I'll bet you didn't think it was going to be all like sea folk doing stuff in politics, but that is what's going down, and it's got a robust pearl economy in a world that has some of the best art I've seen in a board game. But ultimately, it's a pretty simple kind of set collection-y game. It's just fun. So let's get down to that table right now and see just why I like Abyss so much. Boom! Welcome to the bottom of the ocean. That's right. Pretend we're in a teeny tiny little submarine that's very strong. We're down here in the depths. And we're right here on our game topper, by the way. We've got the space background, because what is the bottom of the sea but space? We know just about the same amount about the bottom of the ocean as we do of general space. So I feel like this all fits in nicely, which is just a nice little perk. Upgrade your game experience at GameToppersLLC.com. So this is the game where you're going to be trying to incur the favor of various lords, the various lords of these different kind of alliances and factions that rule the sea down here.
Taking on the jellies. You got serious thrill issues, dude.
There's different factions and colors. You got the Sweet Calamari race right here. Shelly Bellies, Jelly Bellies. You got Mr. Krabs. You got Horsies. So you're going to be trying to get these various lords' favor. And the way you're going to do that is with these cards up here. Now these cards all belong to different factions, and they have various values to them. So if you want to get the favor of one of the lords, you got to have the right goods. You got to have the right stuff that they want to see. The Horsey right here is a farmer. They just be like scything up kelp, going and they just want to like farm stuff. So if you want to get the favor of like this here lord, you need to have a value of 10 and only have Horsey cards. So you got to hopefully get a bunch of those cards. How do you get cards, you ask? Thank you for asking, audience. That's where a lot of the game comes down to. So if it's your turn, you have a couple of simple options. You can turn in cards to get the favor of the lords if you have the cards for it. It's the beginning of the game. I don't have that on me. I don't got it like that. So I need to get some cards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over a card from this here stack. And what we have is it's always going to belong to one faction, have a number. Now this is a level 1 Shelly Belly. Not very valuable. The numbers go from 1 to 5. I don't just get to grab this card straight out. What I have to do is I have to offer that card to everyone else that's playing the game with me. Everyone at the table has a chance to take that card if they want to pay for it. Now, again, this is a level 1, so maybe I ask Nick and I ask all those other friends that I pretend I have, and they all say, no thanks, I don't want that card. I now have the choice to pick up this card if I want. It's kind of weak. I don't really want it. I'm going to pass. And then I'm going to go ahead and be able to flip over a second card. Now this is a level 2 Squidward. It's kind of valuable. Maybe someone wants it. So maybe I pass it off to a friend and they say, hey, you know what? I do want that level 2. Give me it. Now they don't just get it for free. You can't just snatch stuff, okay? We're all about business down here under the sea. So we are going to have a little pearl economy, which is going on in these. We all get little things, and you do this a lot. And that happens a lot. But you keep doing it because it's just so fun. If that person wants to grab a card, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to pay me 1 pearl from their supply. Now maybe they're rich over here and they have a bunch. They're going to give me a pearl and then they get to take that card. So now I have to draw another card out. Now this person over here who grabbed that 1 card, they can no longer bid. But now if there's more players playing, they might have the chance to grab this other card. Now this is a level 5 Horsey, very valuable. Maybe someone's going to for sure want it. But now if there's a second person going to buy, they have to pay me 2 pearls. Now say I've already got Jelly Bellies, I don't want those. There's other Horsey, it's really valuable. I don't want it because I'm not a very good player. You are limited to how many cards you can draw. There's only 5 cards that can come out on your turn. If you flip over this last card on this last area, you have to take that card. But the consolation gift is you get a pearl. Now there's one other type of card outside of all these various numbered and factioned cards. They are monster cards. So they have like Flotsam or Jetsam on here, big old gnarly eel. If one of these people come up, you have the chance to encounter a monster. Now, if you're playing the base game, this is a fairly simple, straightforward part of the game, and is represented on this monster track or threat track. So on this threat track, it's always going to start here at the bottom. If you flip over a monster card, you have one of two options. You either fight the monster, it's an automatic victory, there is no rolling dice or anything like that, and you get what's over here. In this case, I'd either get a pearl or a monster token, or you can choose to ignore that monster, slide this down one spot, and hope to draw another monster card to get a better reward. And that's all there was in the base game. It's fairly straightforward. It doesn't change a lot to the game. Each of these monster tokens are worth between 2 and 4 victory points. They're just victory points for the end of the game. Or you could potentially get keys, which I'll talk about in a moment. But it was kind of like there just wasn't a ton to it. So we got a Leviathan from Bruno Catala himself, who's the designer of this game and who's our favorite designer, Brookie Katuki. Mad love to you, bro. If a card comes up, you can either fight a Leviathan that's over here that happens to be out, or you can ignore it. But if you ignore it, you have to roll these 2 dice and bring out another Leviathan. And if you happen to roll a number that's already occupied by a Leviathan, you're going to get punished for that. You'll get either wounded, which will lose you points. You'll have to like lose some of your affiliate cards. You'll lose one of the lords you earned. Basically, it's like, hey, there's big old monsters in the sea. Go fishing, or they gonna fish you. If you choose to fight one of the Leviathans, it's really fun and simple. You always have to discard one of your cards that you're holding in your hand. All these cards that you've been collecting and hoping to use for lords, you got to use one of those to fight. Now you can always use a crab. You can either use a crab or one of the other that shows up. So in this case, it would be like a Squidward or a Horsey. And you roll the die and get a 2, and you add whatever the number of the affiliate you discarded for a total of 3, and you see if that's enough to fight the Leviathan. So it benefits you to discard more powerful cards, but then you also can't use those for lords. So what do you do? But if you fight them, you get to grab monster tokens, which either give you points, or you can draw from the new Leviathan monster token deck, which might give you extra pearls to spend, and things like that. So they're just like little one-time benefits for the game. So again, keeps it pretty simple, but it just adds a little element of interest while you play the game. So it kind of takes the weakest part of the game and makes it one of the stronger parts of the game. It's a lot of fun if you can get it. But the base game, it's nice because it's just kind of straightforward and keeps the game moving along. That's one thing about this game that people don't realize by the look of it. They're like, dang, that's a striking game. It's very light. There's not a lot going on. You're kind of grabbing these cards, paying little pearls to people, trying to manage your resources, get these lords. And there's a couple of locations up here which give you endgame scoring. That's pretty much it. So on your turn, you can do the drawing out cards. You can get the favor of a lord, or you can pick up one of the stacks that's out here. Say I grab my last card. Monster cards are always going to get discarded, but everything that did not end up getting picked is just going to get discarded face down over here into these little affiliate stacks. If I just say, like, I need a bunch of farmers, I'm just going to grab this whole stack right here and get that, and hopefully be able to use that to get one of the favors of the lords. That's the other third option. I want to get into a little bit about the lords. So you have all these different factions, and they kind of have different things they do. So again, the yellow, the Horsies, they're just farmers. They're generally valuable because they're kind of the backbone of this sea nation. So they don't really have powers of any kind that they give you. They don't give you any effects, but they're usually worth a decent amount of points. The points are denoted up here. Like this guy is 12 points at the end of the game. So it's pretty valuable. So the blue, these folks, this is a treasurer. They're kind of like the smarmy politicians, and they can manipulate different things. Like this guy, he's a treasurer. He's in charge of the money. So when you recruit, the value of your cards needs to be 2 less in order to get the lord. So they make everything cheaper because they're controlling the money, okay? They're skimming a little off for themselves. They're giving a little to their friends, things like that. So they're all the politicians. They can kind of manipulate how you go about buying things. So you have the green class, the Shelly Bellies. They're merchants. So they usually help you get pearls. The red are the Crabbies. They're the military, okay? So they help you fight Leviathans, and they also help mess with other players. So usually you have a hand limit of 12, but if you have this crab, then they can only have 6 cards in their hand at any one time. So it's hard to kind of save up to get something valuable, or hard to save something off to the side to fight a Leviathan, because this crab's getting you down saying like, that's enough cards. No more cards for you. You don't need it like that. I need it. I got military. The sweet, sweet jellies are all mages. They're magicians and things. They do magical stuff. The last area that you can grab lords from are ambassadors. They're kind of the elders, okay? And they're going to take kind of a lot to make, because you have to use faction cards from all the different allies in order to get them. They're kind of these wilds that need pieces from everywhere to be influenced. Okay, they're just like sitting back like, nah, I don't want to help you. I like crabs. And the crab comes up, he's like, I only like squid people. I'm like, all right, well, all right, can I bring a horsey friend? Yes, that'll do just fine. Tell him to bring some kelp jerky. So they're a bunch of crusty old dudes, and they're going to help you get locations. So if you get any of them, you're going to be able to draw out new locations. Take a look, you get first pick, you pick one, and then the other ones go up there and become available for anyone else to purchase if they get enough keys. So one way to get locations is using these ambassadors, and they have 3 little key symbols up here on the right. And another way to get locations is various lords will have like 1 key on them. Sometimes you can fight a monster and get a monster token that has a key on it. And if you get 3 keys, you can turn in those keys and use your lords to get another location. Now, if you're using one of your lords or 2 that have keys on there, this location is going to go right on top of them, and it's going to eliminate whatever player power they had. So you kind of want to time it out. If you have this military guy and he's giving everyone a hard time, being like, give me your affiliate cards, give me your affiliate cards, you can get a location which can help you in the end game, but they're no longer going to be messing with people. They're going to become a pacifist. So that's one thing to consider when getting these locations, but the locations generally help you at the end of the game and are worth getting. So definitely get 1 or 2 if you can throughout the game. It'll always help you out. Anything to give you a little edge is fantastic. So the game is going to end when someone recruits their 7th lord. You're going to be recruiting a number of lords, and once someone gets their 7th lord, the game will end at that time. And then you're going to count out your points. So you're going to count out your points. All your lords, you'll get points in the top left for whatever they get. You'll get any end game scoring from your locations. But there's one little bit that'll give you a little bit of an edge. When you recruit lords, you have to discard cards. So say I turn in all of these horsies to get this horsey guy. Now I have to discard all these cards, but I get to save 1. I get to save 1 that's kind of like the representative, like, I helped get that guy to come on down, yay! And you're gonna get to collect it. Now, you're gonna get points based on the value of this dude, so obviously you want the most valuable one, but you can't take that. You gotta take the lowest valuable one. So it's kind of this incentive to like overpay for things, because if I could have gotten 10 by paying with 2 5s, I get to affiliate the 5 instead of like a 1. But hey, it's still endgame points. So at the end of the game, if I have this horsey out here, I'm gonna get 1 point. You can do this for each faction. If ever I get like a higher level horsey, I can then replace it, but I don't get both anymore. So now I get a 4 instead of a 1, not a 4 plus a 1. So there's not a lot to keep track of. You just kind of want to try to get lords that are going to help you out in the game, hopefully be a little valuable. A lot of the lords that have like really cool powers are usually worth fewer points. So there's a balancing act there. And then kind of fighting these leviathans to weaken them and then hopefully kill them and get some monster tokens, which will also add to your final score if they have victory points on that. And that's really about it. Once we're done with that, you just slowly paddle back to the surface, take in the sunlight, catch some rays, and just see who won the game, dude. Anyway, folks, that's just about it. Look at the art. I mean, just look at the art. It's so art. It's so art. It's so much art and so beautiful. Xavier Collette did the art for this game, and kudos to you for making a vibrant, beautiful game that's literally so amazing with the art that it throws people off sometimes. And they end up liking the game a little less because they figure it's going to be heavier based on how good the art is. And it's a game that's going to really suck people in. Like, there's not been a game we've played with someone new who has not been like, whoa, I want to see a movie based on this world. You know what I mean? They should just make this instead of Aquaman. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Abyss. What do you think about Abyss? Have you played it? Have you tried the Kraken expansion? Or have you had a chance to play like the Leviathan if you're over on the Europa side of things? Let me know in the comments below what you think about these games. If you want to see us play or highlight a different game, you can leave comments saying, hey, check this game out. Hey, live stream that game, because we live stream on Twitch. We want to get your input, folks. Again, big thanks to Chambersoft for suggesting this game to be the next highlight. We're always looking for suggestions out there, folks, so please let us know in them comments below. I'm going to get out of here, folks. Thank you so much for joining me and hanging out here on Board Game Highlight, talking at Abyss. I'm Mike Murphy, and this video is over. So the video's not quite over. All right, I'm still here. I just want to say thank you for all the support, everyone out there. If you want to continue to support us, a great way to do that is to support our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/thebrothersmurph to find our page and all the goals that we have. We're getting really close to being able to do a really fun series where we review stuff from our childhood and then hopefully yours. We've already got some Tamagotchis, and we're going to do a review and challenge to see if we can keep Tamagotchis alive for a whole week. And we also were just sent Pogs. In order to get that goal, we got to get to $500 monthly from our patrons, and we're really close. So help push us over the edge so we can do really cool new series. Every little bit helps, even if it's just $1. And also, thank you for getting the word out about all the stuff we do. That is literally the best thing you could possibly do for us. It's just talk about us in a nice way. And as you know, we're sponsored by Restoration Games, all right? They make great retro games, bringing it forward on to today's audiences, sprucing up those mechanics and having really fun, light family games that everyone can enjoy. Check out Restoration Games for more information. And we always play our games on Game Toppers, baby. So go check out GameToppersLLC.com to upgrade your gaming experience. Bye, everybody.